our mics are on.
They sure are.
To make sure the correct ones were on. Hello and welcome everybody to the PGL Lobbycast, the official podcast of PreGameLobby.com and some other places. This is episode 283. And what, today's the 25th? Does that sound right to you?
Yep. Yeah, that sounds...
If only there were a device that would tell you information.
Exactly what day it is.
Yeah, it is the 25th.
It is.
So we don't have a whole lot of news this week. I guess the biggest thing, and this isn't necessarily video game related, or it is roughly entertainment related, because Microsoft is trimming down a little bit, kind of streamlining its operations and shifting focus. They are cutting back on those original TV programs that they were going to be producing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and they cut 18,000 jobs, kind of axed that whole Nokia project. So we'll see what that all means. And they're still going to have some of that original television content, but as far as like any of that other stuff goes, you know, who knows what's next.
Sure.
They're not getting rid of any of their programs. Like, of course, they're not getting rid of the Windows mobile platform, and they're not getting rid of Xbox Music or anything to do with Xbox, you know, but...
Well, yeah, because it's probably their most successful
Yeah, you would think. Yeah. So, that's what's going on with them, and we'll keep an eye on that, see where it goes from here. And then also Bioware last night launched kind of a viral "this doesn't make sense" promo campaign. They sent out an email about 2 this morning, and I it's a little YouTube video, and it's called "You've Been Chosen," and I don't know if this is the start of some alternative reality game. I don't know. But the speculation is that this is for a game called Shadow Realms, which EA patented earlier in the year, and that BioWare's been working on in the background.
Okay. All right.
So something about nightmares. That was the focus of the trailer anyway.
I trust BioWare. I do not trust EA. So
So
it's a wash.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Did you have any bits of news that you want to talk about?
No, not that I can think of.
Tell the good people out there what is legal in St. Louis.
Oh, apparently what is legal in St. Louis is switchblades and butterfly knives.
There you go.
Oh, and silencers for guns.
And where are those things illegal?
Pretty much everywhere else.
Right. But especially here in Denver.
So if you want to kill people silently, go to St. Louis.
Take a friend.
And kill them silently. No one will know, because no one will have heard it.
That's right. Because it's silent. Which is the whole point.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Now, would you travel out there and purchase these things ahead of time and put them in like a bus station locker or something? Because it would be a little suspicious if you took your friend, who you're planning on killing silently, to St. Louis and then went to a store and then bought
a silencer and a switchblade.
A silencer and a switchblade. And they asked you, what are you doing that for? We can't take those back to Denver. Would you just say, shh? Or,
well, you know, I might say something like, well, you definitely can't take these back to Denver.
Because I'm going to take these things and I'm going to kill you silently.
I'm going to murder you with these things. Oh, yes. Yes. Killing people silently. Now legal in St. Louis. Wait, that's not right.
It's not quite right.
But we're close.
Completely legal as long as you do not get caught.
Well, yeah. That's most things, though. You get to be like, murder, legal nationwide, just as long as you never get caught.
Yeah. All right, Brick. Let's go ahead and get into the Weekly Whatchas. We don't have a whole lot this week. What you listening to, sir?
Not a whole bunch. I listened to a few albums when I was in the car and just when I've been at home. I listened to Slater-Kinney and Smashing Pumpkins and Nirvana this week. So
I would ask you what Slater-Kinney is, but I feel like I've asked that before and you've told me.
You've asked that 2 times before, and I've told you. So fool me once, strike one. Fool me twice.
You get taken to St. Louis. All right, fair enough.
But that's it for me. What have you been listening to?
Really, I just listened to my Nitzarab radio mix while I was at the gym, and I listened to my car mix in the car, and I listened to, I think, some of Mice and Men and perhaps some Walk Off the Earth radio while I was at work.
Oh, scratch that. I did actually also listen to some of Monsters and Men.
Oh, did you?
Not of Mice and Men, but of Monsters and Men.
Whatever.
They're 2 different bands.
Okay. Is Of Mice and Men a band?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure.
All right. That sounds great. Because it's music, things we were listening to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice.
It's nice. All right.
That's all you've been listening to?
It really is. I'm telling you, it's a short list this week.
Well, it is kind of for me, too.
All right. Well, let's get into what you're watching.
I have been watching that new FX show, Tyrant.
Yes.
It's pretty good, right?
Yes. This is what I'm saying. I've told you this.
Yeah. Well, I've been watching it from the beginning. I don't know why you're looking at me like you've been trying to convince me to watch this show.
Hey. I was trying to convince you to watch the show, which you've been watching from the beginning.
But I really like it. You know.
Yeah, I do too.
It's very solid. I'm very curious to see where it's going from here. You caught up? You've seen the latest episode?
Wait. Perhaps not.
Well, I have seen the latest episode, so tell me what was the last thing you saw?
Oh, it's kind of a tough thing. I know I haven't seen the most recent episode because it's been probably a week since I've watched it. So, and I know Tyrant just came out in the last couple of days.
It did, yeah.
So I know that I'm behind one episode.
Okay, well, this latest episode is very good. You should.
Does stuff get real?
Stuff does get pretty real. Yeah, yeah. I'm a big fan of the realness that this show portrays. Except for this Middle Eastern country where everyone magically speaks English.
Everybody speaks English in the Middle East? Duh.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like,
can't
they give us like a few subtitles, you know, from like some characters?
They haven't?
No. Like nobody. Everyone just has a Middle Eastern accent but speaks perfect English.
Huh.
Except for, you know, the main character, of course, but because he has an American accent, but
Right. Right.
But yeah, other than that, it's a really good show. I like it. And then I did a little bit of my Breaking Bad rewatch before I left for St. Louis. The last episode that I watched was in season 3, and it was the Fly episode. It's a very interesting.
It's a good episode.
It is. It's a really good episode.
Yeah.
But it's so far removed from like the rest of that season and really the rest of the series. I mean, it's really different.
Yeah.
From anything else that they do. And I think I figured out why, too. The guy who directed the episode is Ryan Johnson, and he's the guy who directed Looper and that movie that has my namesake, Brick.
Oh, okay.
And so, and I think he directed that and also the Ozymandias episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was a great episode.
Right, yeah. He's a really good director. I mean, Looper was a great movie.
Those are 2 of the 3 like really standout, memorable episodes, the other one being Box Cutter.
Yes. And I don't know that he did that one. He might have, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, he's an incredible director. I mean, because he's only done 2 movies, which would have been Brick and Looper. But that's a pretty good start.
Yeah. For sure.
Those. And then to do at least those 2 episodes of Breaking Bad.
Yeah, he's a talented guy.
Yeah. But anyway, did that, love that episode, and then also have been watching and am totally caught up on *Halt and Catch Fire*.
Nice.
Are you caught up on *Halt and Catch Fire*?
I am.
How awesome is this show?
It's pretty awesome.
I feel like it's similar to Mad Men, but it's better.
That's what I said. That's how I described it too.
Oh yeah, okay, that's where I got that from. It was before I left. It was the last show I recorded when you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I love it, and the way that things came together in this latest episode, where they finally, Gordon finally takes control. And they've stopped bickering with each other, and they're all, together and on board with this. I mean, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see this.
Next episode is Comdex.
Yep, next episode is Comdex.
Oh, yeah. It's a good show. And I like all the characters in it.
And
where would I know that the female lead from?
You would know her from a couple of things. And you would also know her husband in the show from something, too. Because they also played husband and wife in Argo.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the hacker.
Oh, the hacker? I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But the Gordon's wife, I can't remember her name.
Right.
But she was also the blonde girl in Red State, too.
Oh, really?
Yep.
How about that?
Yep. But yeah, can't say enough good things about that show if you're not watching it. Highly recommended.
Agreed.
And then I also watched the latest episode of The Leftovers. Have you continued, or are you
No.
finished?
I think I'm done.
You think you're done?
Yeah.
I'm going to keep going.
I may come back to it.
All right.
Let me know.
Well, I might come back to The Americans. So
Oh, did you leave The Americans?
I left The Americans like 3 episodes into the first season.
Oh, okay. So did I.
So I think I'm going to come back.
Sam's the one who's watching The Americans. He digs
Yeah.
it. He's in season 2 of it.
Yeah, and my brother is watching The Americans too. And so I'm very curious. Very curious indeed.
Okay.
Also been trudging through the final season of True Blood.
Why is it so bad?
Because reasons, Jeff. It has to be. It's the final season of a show that was just getting progressively worse. This has to be the culmination of the worstness. Although I have to say I did quite enjoy Eric tearing out the jaw of that one dude. That was
Fair enough.
That was graphically pleasing.
Yep. And then I got to see it again on the Will Wheaton Project.
That is my next one, is the Will Wheaton Project, and I did get to see it again on there, too. But, yes, love the Will Wheaton Project. Hope that show keeps going. And then I also started watching, I don't believe I mentioned this on the last show, because I don't think I had watched it yet, The Strain. And
I watched the first episode. I've not watched the second episode.
I'm liking it. You know?
I was with it until the reveal of the vampire.
Really?
Yeah, it's a little too reminiscent of The Thing, or I don't know. It just
I don't know. I mean, it's just I feel like it's not. I'm
maybe it's not ready yet.
I'm interested in the story, but that's not what I'm most interested in. It is just so ridiculously violent.
It is pretty violent, yeah.
I mean, you know, the most violent part
Guillermo
of the first episode.
del Toro.
Well, yeah, the most violent part of the first episode. Not only did I see it once on The Strain, also got to see it again on the Will Wheaton Project.
That's true. That's true. Like the squishing of the
oh my god! Like
the first vampire victim.
Yeah, when that happened, I was just oh no. Oh, that's not good.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. I didn't do nothing. And then I have also been keeping up on Marin,
Right.
and that's an awesome show. It's a really good comedy show on IFC, and it's I would say it is IFC's most normal comedy show that they have, like most conventional.
Okay.
Because it's still like it's really funny, but it has a relatively continuing overarching storyline. Whereas like Portlandia is pretty much it's just a bunch of different sketch comedies. I love Portlandia, as you know, but it's very unconventional comedy.
Yeah.
And then they have what is it? Something of Babylon or something like that. And it's a ridiculously unconventional show. And then there's Comedy Bang Bang, which is also, it's just like, it's a talk show that's just like, if the most ridiculously stupid talk show existed, this is what it would happen, that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, it's one of their best, but it's also their most conventional comedy show. So if you're not a fan of anything else that you have watched on IFC, I would highly recommend Marin to you because you might like it.
Okay.
But yeah, that does it for me. That is my watching list.
All right.
Oh, wait, one more thing. I forgot. Did
you see a movie? I usually see a movie.
I usually see a movie. Did not see a movie.
Okay.
I mean, I watched some movies on Netflix, but it's like some movies that I'd seen before.
Right.
So, but I did, while I was in St. Louis, start watching Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee.
And?
It's awesome. They're like 15 minutes episode on Crackle, and they're incredible. Like, you should definitely start watching this show.
Now, did that get started because of Conan O'Brien and Ice Cube and somebody else riding in the Uber car?
No. This is Jerry Seinfeld's thing, and he's been doing it for like, I think 4 years now. Like, they've got like 4 seasons of it.
Oh, wow.
And it's just, but they're real short episodes, like 15 minutes. And it's just Jerry Seinfeld going and picking up a comedian, and then they ride around in some like ridiculous car from like the 50s or 60s or whatever, and they just go and get coffee and just talk about comedy and stuff like that. It's really cool. Like the first episode, he goes and gets Larry David. He has an episode with Louis C.K. and Ricky Gervais and a bunch of different comedians, but it's really, really good.
All right, I could get in on that.
Yeah. So, but that's it for me.
Okay.
I promise.
Well, I have been getting caught up on Utopia. This is a BBC show. It's back.
I have downloaded the first 2 episodes, but I haven't watched it
yet. Yeah. It's a cool show. It's very interesting. It's very... I don't even know how to describe it. There aren't too many shows like it.
I know. It's very, very unique.
Yeah.
And did you hear the news about Utopia?
No.
They are, I guess this would have been qualified as news, but I didn't think about it then.
Right.
They are doing an American version of it that is coming to HBO.
Oh.
And David Fincher is directing it.
Oh.
And Gillian Flynn, who is the writer of Gone Girl, the newest movie that David Fincher is doing, she is writing the episodes for it.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it's very, very promising.
Well, that's cool.
And it's going to be on HBO, so that's even better.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys follow any of the shows that we usually watch. It's kind of like the humor and violence of Fargo. But then it's British, and it's also got a little bit of like government conspiracy theory and I don't know. There's some little bit of description that I'm missing that would top it all off.
I mean, maybe like sprinkle a little bit of heroes in there.
I don't know.
Just because of the whole comic aspect to it,
maybe.
But I mean, it's kind of hard to put it in a comparison with anything else because it's so its own show.
Right. And the basic premise is that there's this shadow government behind the scenes that is putting out a because of how fast the human race is growing and how quickly our resources are depleting, they've put this this drug into a flu vaccine that will sterilize most of the population, not everybody.
Yeah,
but most of the population. And there's somebody who knows about it who's drawing these like really disturbing comic type images with the secrets of the conspiracy theory.
Yep.
And the drug itself kind of woven into them, and the shadow government is trying to recover the drawings. British drawings.
The drawings.
And also kind of contain anybody who knows about the drawings or knows about the drug.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of funny in parts.
Yeah. What is the main girl's name? Is Jessica something?
I don't remember her last name. But yeah.
It's really, really good.
And she's the daughter of the guy who created the drug, and then that guy's son is a psychopath because, yeah. Anyway,
yeah, but it's I mean, and the characters are really, really complex. They're not like, you know, these two-dimensional characters that you see in a lot of shows. Like
yeah, it kind of reminds me of Misfits. Did you ever watch the BBC show Misfits? There was a lightning storm, and it gave people superpowers.
Oh, okay.
And it's just very British, and it's funny, but it's kind of violent and disturbing. And
okay, yeah. Well, I mean, that sounds. Sounds like
I think it went 3 or 4 seasons. So
I might look it up.
I wouldn't surprise me if it was done by the same people. Actually,
might be.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been getting caught up on that. I haven't watched episode 3 yet. I started it last night, but I fell asleep while I was watching it. So yeah, and as we mentioned, I've watched the Will Wheaton Project, and I also watched *Halt and Catch Fire* and *True Blood*. *Halt and Catch Fire* is excellent. *True Blood* is terrible.
And *True Blood* used to be excellent. That's why it's so disappointing.
Well, I don't know if it was ever excellent.
But
Brick.
It was really good. I mean, in the first
it was fun.
In the first 2 or 3 seasons, it was a great show to watch.
It was fun.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't, you know...
It's never been well done.
It wasn't mind-blowingly good like Breaking Bad or something like that.
There's
it was
never...
really fun to watch.
There may be 1 page of good dialogue that has been written throughout the entire series.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's comedic soap opera, basically.
With, you know, violence and sex.
Yeah, pretty much. And then I watched a Walking Dead special on special effects, like visual effects, practical effects.
Oh yeah,
and stuff like that. Yeah, I haven't watched the special about the zombie school.
Oh, okay.
I watched the special effects one.
That was
there are 2.
Oh, okay. That was the one that I heard about.
Yeah,
via the Will Wheaton Project.
Right.
I learn about a lot of shows that I don't watch on that show,
and some that you do.
Some that I do. Yeah. But like he talks about Salem a lot on that. I will never watch that show.
No, why would you?
Because it looks awful. But I like seeing the ridiculous clips that he shows from it. So
fair enough.
The Will Wheaton Project serves a very valuable purpose.
Yes, it does. And then I watched some So You Think You Can Dance. I'm actually watching this season into the competition, which I usually don't.
Oh, okay.
So it's all right.
Kind of like how I watched this past season of The Voice into the competition.
Yeah.
Which I don't think I'm going to do again.
Yeah, the competition part's really bad.
It's really boring.
Yeah. I like the blind auditions, and that's it.
Like, unless like there's one person that you're like, oh, wow, I really like this person. I want to see them go far.
Yeah.
Unless that happens, the competition part of it sucks.
Yeah, it's the same with American Idol or
Yeah.
probably any of the other shows.
I mean, it's just not riveting at all.
Nope. So, and let's see here. Oh, I watched this new show called Rush.
Ooh.
About this guy. He's some brilliant but flawed character.
Oh, no.
He's a doctor, and what he does is he goes around in LA and he performs medical procedures for people who do not want attention drawn to what has happened. Basically, they don't want to go to a hospital.
Okay. All right.
So he probably, there's some interaction with an LA gang, so he'll probably end up being a gang doctor also.
All right.
So
What,
he's a doctor on the down low, on the hush hush.
And it's on USA, this television show?
I think so, yeah. That sounds right.
Okay.
USA is the Burn Notice network, right?
Yep.
Okay. And Covert Affairs?
Yep.
Okay. That sounds right, because it's one of those kind of shows.
All right. I no longer trust this show.
And I don't know if I'll watch any more of it.
Does it feel like a Burn Notice or something like that, where it's just going to be like one of the shows you watch in the background, that kind of thing?
Oh, I don't know. Because it is kind of interesting. He's got a little Michael Weston to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he says he's just in it for the money, but every now and then he'll break off some justice.
I get that. I mean, I get that there's a lot of interesting shows out there. I just want to make sure you're spending your time wisely, Geoff, because there's so many great shows out there that you don't need to be wasting your time with The Last Ship and Rush.
Don't look at my list.
I didn't even look at your list, and I know that that's on there.
I saved it for last, Brick, because you are co-hosting today.
Okay, please tell me that when Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. comes back, you will not be tuning in.
I probably will not be.
Okay.
Because I really hated it. I don't hate The Last Ship.
That probably worries me.
The Last Ship is better than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Without a doubt.
Well, that's not saying a lot.
No. Actually, I would say I would put Last Ship. I don't even know where to put it. Yes, it's poorly written.
Okay.
And
off to a good start.
No, but the subject matter is interesting.
Okay. But here's my argument to you.
Okay.
If it's poorly written, why not watch a show such as The Americans that you're not caught up on, because it is more worthy of your time than
But I don't know that it's more worthy of my time.
I would be willing to bet that it is.
Sam has said so, but I've already watched more episodes of The Last Ship than I did of The Americans, or than you did of The Americans.
I know. That's true, because granted, The Americans wasn't...
And you watched Buffy, for freak's sake.
Yeah, but that's a different subject.
Okay,
that's a different
we'll
subject.
table that for now.
I'm just saying that, or there's I'm sure there's other shows that I'm just not thinking about right now that I've tried to get you to watch that are really good shows that you just haven't had the chance to yet, that you could be watching.
No.
Like, have you watched Ray Donovan? I think you have, right?
But those aren't shows that I've never seen, and you're trying to get into. It's I need to get caught up on those shows.
Well, yeah,
and I'm planning on it.
But still.
I know what Ray Donovan is.
But getting
I know what Mad Men is.
But getting caught up on those shows.
I know what Boardwalk Empire is.
Yes, Boardwalk Empire. That is but
Last Ship,
worth your time than the Last Ship.
It's like I said, it's an interesting subject matter. It's not just it's not a show about this group of people. It's an interesting subject matter.
So an interesting story,
right,
to it. But the characters
Yeah, some good, some bad.
And
Adam Baldwin's on it.
and
Everybody likes Adam Baldwin.
I didn't know that there was another Baldwin brother.
Sure you do. This one's the one from that other Joss Whedon show. The brown coats one, the one that I don't see. I don't see the. I don't see the big deal about.
Yes, yeah.
He's in The Patriot.
Okay.
You know who Adam Baldwin is.
I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah. He plays exactly the same character no matter what movie.
Much every show, yeah.
Yeah, he's playing it in this one.
Yeah, okay. I know who you're talking about.
And I appreciate that. He's like the second in command on the battleship.
But nonetheless.
And Rona Mitra.
Well, okay, but I get that. But Boardwalk Empire.
She's the living Lara Croft.
Fine. But Boardwalk Empire, so much more worth your time.
But The Last Ship has viruses.
I'm not saying don't watch. I'm not saying I don't know what that is, but I'm not saying don't watch The Last Ship. Okay, I've given up on that because I know you're going to watch it anyway.
It's true. I'm going to watch it.
What I'm saying is that you should get caught up on the shows that are far more worth your time before you put the time in for The Last Ship.
Okay, but you look at what I'm watching. Okay, So You Think You Could Dance, I just put on, because
right. I get that. I put on
because I was watching this with Madison last night.
I'm doing a casual rewatch of The Office. I just put that on while I'm doing other things.
Yeah, Will Wheaton Project. It's great. Halt and Catch Fire. It's great.
Right.
True Blood I just have on because I'm trying to get through.
Yeah, I'm
trying to trudge through this final season.
I understand that.
Walking Dead special. It's like, Walking Dead special. I want to watch that.
Sure. Yeah.
And Utopia is like, I loved that first season. I got to watch that.
Right.
So, and that's all of my viewing time right there.
Most of them fantastic shows. That is all of your viewing time, except for this one. Except for that one.
But that's the interesting story one, remember?
Yeah, but I'm saying, but does Boardwalk Empire not also have an interesting story?
I don't know that Boardwalk Empire has anything else to offer me after the first two seasons.
Oh, but it does.
Because this is season 3, right? Coming up? Or is it season 4?
God, I think it's like 5. The
is it?
Newest one that's coming up is the final season, and I think it's 5.
Okay, so 4 is the one that I need to watch.
Right.
Okay, I'm caught up through 3.
And 4 is really
Mad Men,
good.
I really think I've seen all Mad Men has to offer.
Now, granted, I love Mad Men.
Yeah.
And it's not as great as it used to be. I will totally admit that. But it does have its moments of goodness, like moments of greatness, really. Like there are episodes sprinkled in to these last few seasons that you're like, wow, that was the Mad Men that I really... That was the Mad Men that made me start watching this show.
Like, oh, look, it's Don Draper cycling through depressed, surly, and super confident.
But so I'm not going to convince you to watch Mad Men because I can't make a good enough argument for it that the entire season is great. Granted, I think you should get caught up on it when you have a chance.
Is this the last season of Mad Men?
Yes.
Coming up?
Well, yeah, because they split it into 2,
right,
like they did with Breaking Bad. So coming up is the last half of the last season.
Okay, and that's what will spur me to get caught up is knowing that it's ending.
Yeah, and I think you should just whenever.
Same with Boardwalk Empire.
Well, and this is the final season of that.
Yeah.
But Boardwalk Empire, much better show all the way through.
Oh, yeah.
Especially after...
Chucky White?
Yeah.
It's Omar on the Stroll.
Oh, my God. I mean, the characters are so much better. The storyline is so much better. I guarantee you the storyline is either just as good or better than The Last Ship, and it has better writing and better acting.
No, that's the subject matter. It's not...
Okay, subject matter. It has just as good, if not better, subject matter than The Last Ship. And it also has great characters, great writing. It has everything together in a neat little package so that you can actually watch a show that is totally worth your time and then just put The Last Ship on the back burner. Come back to it. Come on back to it when you don't have anything else.
Well, I can't argue with that. Except those other things I actually have have to watch and pay attention to. Last Ship I don't have to pay attention to. I can be screwing around on my phone.
Okay,
and have the Last Ship on.
If it's a show like that you just have it on, like, you know.
I am not riveted by this show.
Okay,
I'm just saying in general, it's you know, got an interesting storyline. You know, basically, it's a virus is very quickly wiping out most of the world's population.
Okay,
and the doctor on this ship, the ship was out on this operation. They thought they were doing winter battle maneuver type secret type wartime stuff, and really all they were doing was transporting this doctor to the Antarctic to get like the original primordial strain of the virus, so that she could develop an antivirus.
Okay, well that is
a cure for the virus. And then there's all the like having to deal with the Russians trying to take the doctor and the virus, and they're trying to find, you know, food and water and fuel. And so they went to Guantanamo Bay, and so there was you know, stuff happened there.
Sure.
And they went to Cuba, and stuff happened there.
It sounds like a very intriguing storyline. However,
there's always a however.
It is broadcasted on TNT, and contrary to popular belief, they do not know drama.
They know basketball.
They know basketball. They don't know drama.
There's no basketball in The Last Ship.
And it is produced by Transformer murderer himself, Michael Bay.
Okay.
Watch something else, Jeff.
All right, I'll think about it.
Okay.
I'll think about it.
All right, that's all I ask.
Brick, what you playing?
Big fat nothing, Jeff.
How do you play that?
Very carefully.
I think I've played that before.
You probably have. I think we've all played that at some point in our lives.
So, I already knew that Brick hadn't played anything, so it was not really a big surprise. What Brick needs to be playing is the Destiny beta.
I know, and I apologize, Will. I asked you for the code. I have yet to redeem it. I have been busy. I apologize. But I will. I will definitely redeem that soon. If not tonight or today.
Good.
Soon.
All right, so here's the deal on Destiny. It's going to feel like a pretty solid mix of Halo, obviously, because it's a Bungie title.
Sure.
And Mass Effect.
Ooh.
There are lots of missions, and most of the promo stuff that you've seen is third person.
Mm-hmm.
It's first all the action and adventure is first person.
And
if you're walking around inside the Citadel, which they call the Tower,
okay,
where you go and you sell. You don't really sell stuff. You sell stuff at any given point.
Well, because it's like an MMO, right?
Yeah, it is. So that's where you go to pick up bounties and do some other things.
But it's very good. You're enjoying yourself?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. But it does feel a lot like Mass Effect.
Well, that's good. That's not a bad thing.
Like a first-person Mass Effect.
Oh, God, that's a great thing.
Right. There's not as much story. Like, you don't have the interaction one-on-one with the characters.
Sure.
The only one-on-one action that I've had so far with characters is like a vendor-type situation. Whether it's the dispensing of items or the dispensing of service or dispensing of information. It's all kind of a vendor-type situation.
Now, how many class types and things are there?
3, and then each one will have subclasses that you can build towards.
So is it a lot of detail and character customization?
A fair amount, because it seems to be kind of like how Bethesda does, what you use is what levels up.
Okay.
So if you want to level up the knife, the blade thing, and I'm playing through as a ranger, so it's a thrown knife or a close quarters stab. Then you stab people more, and then that will level up. That skill tree will level up.
Okay.
That's what it seems to be happening.
That's the best way to do it.
I agree. Because
you don't want to level up stuff
you advance,
that you never use.
Right. You advance in how you play. So that's I think that's about perfect.
Right.
And when you're going on missions, you go up into orbit, and then you select a destination, then you go. I find going into orbit to be an unnecessary step. Okay. I don't even know if I'm under NDA. I don't think I am.
Okay.
It's an open... No, it's not an open beta.
No, you have to have a code.
I may be under NDA. I don't know. But I don't recall... I don't recall agreeing to a non-disclosure. So, I find it to be an unnecessary step, and it's almost like an extended loading screen. One thing I do like is that you can pretty much, unless you're transitioning from one area to the other, you can access your character stuff at any point. Just press inventory, or it brings up your character, and you can level up your stuff while you're in orbit, while you're on the planet, while you're at the tower.
That's exactly like an MMO.
Yeah.
Being able to access that stuff at any point.
And certain weapons you can level up to add abilities to those. And instead of selling your retired weapons or unwanted weapons and armor, there's a dismantle button. It's a press and hold, a progress bar goes across, and then so you don't accidentally delete something, right? Because it's destroyed. Once you're done, it becomes equipment parts.
Oh, okay.
So it is gone.
Yeah.
It's not like selling and you can go to use the buyback feature. Doesn't work that way.
Really? Okay.
It is destroyed. Something I did find out though last night, right as Will and I were signing off, is that on the tower you have a vault, and it's sectioned off into armor, weapons, and other. It's got sections,
right?
And those are shared across your characters.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool. If you're just like, oh, okay, I found this weapon that'd be really good for this character, you throw it in the shared bank, and then that character will have access to it. The beta test maxes out at level 8, but then you can still continue to advance those class proper traits.
Okay.
Even though you can't advance your level. And Will was thinking that we will probably have access to that character since they're maxing it out at 8.
Sure.
That you'll be able to keep that character.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be my guess too.
But I don't know. They probably just don't.
Or they're not there yet.
Because they probably don't want a whole bunch of level 8s with their abilities maxed out starting the game either.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But
so I have no idea.
I don't know. They might do. I mean, it's not unprecedented that games do that kind of thing.
No, But there are level requirements for items, or other requirements for different things. It's a pretty solid game, and it's satisfying as a first person shooter. It has kind of that loose, nearly requires accuracy thing that Halo has. Okay. It's a Bungie aiming thing.
Okay.
Where it can be just a little off and still hit, but can be right on and still miss. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of ish.
It's Bungie.
Yeah. Oh, you guys.
You'll never change.
So, it's definitely fun. And there's also a multiplayer component, and we were playing that last night, and I only got to see a couple of different maps, maybe 2 or 3 different maps, and it was all the same game type, which is the territories, where you take a position and the enemy is trying to, you have three spots on the map and you try to maintain control of all three of them, and the enemy is also trying to maintain control of all three of them. You go in the little circle and yeah, that's the only game type I was able to play. There's no no like.
I mean, they're probably working on some stuff.
Yeah. But you still gain in levels and abilities in multiplayer as the same as you do in single player. Although on some of the game types, I think they get rid of level advantage.
Okay.
So you can play with people far above you, but that does not get rid of their weapons, their weapon advantage.
Okay.
So I don't know if they're scaling the weapon power down, but it didn't feel like it. It felt like I was getting hoosed in my noozle.
Felt like there was a moose loose in the hoose.
Exactly. But at the same time, I had this plasma type shotgun that charged up like probably 2, maybe 3 full seconds. If you could manage not to die and manage to hit your target in multiplayer, it usually killed them.
Okay.
Instead of having to put 40 rounds of plasma ammo into somebody.
Get a good charge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm very intrigued by it. I'll probably definitely.
It feels like Bungie.
Yeah.
It definitely does. When you get to the multiplayer, it kind of feels like Halo.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm very intrigued.
Intrigued. But that's about it. Just
all
some
right.
Destiny for me. Didn't get any Civ Revan this weekend or this week, and let's see what else. Oh, yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I got.
All right. Well, that a show?
It is. Oh, one little bit of Lobbycast news. I did get our new logos finished up. Our buddy Tommy, he met at the thing in February.
Yes.
The showcase.
The massive studio thing.
Yeah. He did some artwork for us, and it's probably going to change the logo. This is going to be, and I think you've seen this before because I've got it on one of my T-shirts.
Yes.
It's basically a reworking of the old Seek and Destroy logo.
Yeah.
The almost the 10-star logo.
Yes. Yep.
And so everything's going to be transitioning over that. We can get rid of this old orange one with the gamer pics on it.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm on board with that.
And you know what that means,
What's
Brick?
that?
If we find a decent logo, merch. Not actual merch. We're not going to be selling these things, but we will have these things.
We'll wear them.
We will wear the merch. So. It's good.
It's good.
All right, man. All right, thank you all for watching and listening, and we will see you next week.
It was just jazzed to be on the show.
Yeah.
Bye.
Welcome to the wonderful world of entertainment where art imitate life and people get famous. Welcome to the world of showbiz arrangement where lights, camera, action is the language. Welcome to the wonderful world of entertainment where art imitate life and people get famous. Welcome to the world of showbiz arrangement where lights, camera, action.